This is F121. This is the mainstream racing series. This is race number 12 of 23 in the Principality of Monaco. I'm Zabar. Glad you're with us tonight for what should be an interesting mid-season battle here in the Principality of Monaco. Most difficult track in the world, I want to call it, not only in F1 but in the whole world. Nothing is more intense, and no track in the whole world is closer than the Circuit de Monte Carlo, and this is it. This is the track we race on here tonight. Only 3.3 kilometers of length. This is the shortest of all. The race duration is a bit shortened. Usually it's 310 kilometers in Monaco. In real life it is down to around about 270 kilometers of complete duration. And as we race with 50%, this is 135 kilometers. Then today the three softest tire compounds, of course. Track difficulty very hard. Yeah, totally 19 turns and not the slightest inch of run-out zone. The slightest mistake will cost you at least a front wing or end wing or end plate. Whatever it will be costly. We should have something around 15 drivers in tonight, and we are already at the number of 15. So maybe there is some reserve who might jump in a little bit late, so we might have one or two more. But right when I say it, there is Boosted, one of our reserves. Let's have a short look. We had a bit of reshuffling of our driver seats. I'm having myself a look into the driver lineup. Yes, Boosted is still ranked as reserve, but he might have a chance to acquire a full-time seat whenever he wants. So the second Red Bull is still available, and Boosted is sitting right in this car. Now we have even 17 drivers. So speaking about reserves checking in, that is very cool to see. This is Muff, one of our latest additions to the mainstream racing series. He is giving his debut today. I'm having myself a look if there is someone else who is debuting, but no, only Muff in his opening night here for the mainstream racing series. So now let's have a look at our driver championship, and that is close. It is close, and that is right what we want. We see Dominic Walsh leading the way with 160 points. That is 13 points ahead of Jeppe Nielsen. And with 144 points, his brother Tom Walsh, means Tom Walsh is down by 16 points on his brother. So this is actually not a real big gap. This is very close. A three-man battle looming for the championship. Dominic Walsh, who was champion in season 1, we are now in season 3. Tom Walsh, who is now in third. He was third in season 1 and 2, so he has something like a subscription to the bronze medal. And in second, Jeppe Nielsen in the Walsh Bros sandwich. And Jeppe Nielsen, one of our the new addition towards the beginning of the season. His first MRS season. So he shows that he does have quite some success. He is a good driver. And therefore he is battling for the championship. He is, in my mind, the quickest of all those three men. But he did commit a few mistakes. He had just one or two DNFs too many. Otherwise, he would be the leader. Further, we see Dylan Chapman with 118 points, means 42 points behind Dom Walsh in P4, and 42 points, that is really not that much either. So this, with one or two right results in his way, in his direction, we might have us a 4-man battle sooner or later, as we still have half a season to go. We are something around the midway mark, and with these really cool and beautiful pictures of Monaco, we turn towards the Principality here. The most beautiful scene in the whole year. Most difficult track, likewise, most beautiful scenery. And we had us a bit of discussion. Let's see what the admins decided for eventually. Because someone, can't remember who it was, entered the suggestion to race in the Monaco night view, but it looks like daytime. I'm not sure, but it looks like daytime. So we race to the original daytime when it is in real life too. I hear the first engine being fired. This is a Red Bull. We still have the white Red Bull designs, probably until the next updates of the game. Let's see who will be the first man on the track. First man out is a Ferrari, and this must be Keo Lowick, the little opossum. Yeah, the qualifying is incredibly important, a lot more important than the actual race is. So everyone knows it, and so everyone will do his best to acquire the best possible starting position. As soon as Lowick is on his hot lap, we will sit down on his shoulder onto his TV pod, so you can have a bit of feel for this track, how close it really is. This was a turn where Charles Leclerc ruined his Ferrari after such a great qualifying. And Lowick right back into the pits. So next man up, that is something blue. So let's stay with Jeppe Nielsen. Not sure if he's really the next one, but let's just stay with him. He enters his first hot lap. This is the main straight, the only real DRS zone, and then after Sunday one, up we go, Boriwash and Masenet up the hill. Here we are at the casino. Gregory Mortier must get out of the way somehow if he is not on a hot lap himself. And there is Muff, who had some big trouble there in the upper Mirabeau, and he might have some front wing damage, and that ruined Jeppe Nielsen's first hot lap, who is now in the harbor section and in the tunnel. Oh yes, and Muff is out entirely, so the last man in the starting grid is already set. Here we go through the harbor chicane and Tabak and the swimming pool chicane. left, right, right, left. And then the legendary Raskas combination. Nielsen finishes the lap. Blake Gary was in front of him. Nielsen, no wonder that he is 5 seconds slower. We saw why. Big troubles for Muff Muff and Gregory Mortier. I was unsure if Mortier maybe was on a hot lap himself, and that would mean that he did not have to go out of the way. Didn't watch for the tire tableau, the times tableau to that moment. So we see the first laps incoming, and have a look, Blake Gary with his 1:11.6, not that bad. The only one who can stay within a second is Nevis Ikic here at the moment. Nevis Ikic, big Formula 1 fan, but he complained a bit lately that due to some real life commitments he had not much time of training lately. That was why his results weren't the best in the last races, but here, where it is the most difficult, he is in a good position. And now, first real hot lap, and how hot it was. Jeppe Nielsen, 1:10.8, blasting every other time we have seen thus far, and even Blake Gary is now 8.5 tenths away. Only Gary and Chapman able to stay within a second of the Red Bull time. 18 minutes qualifying, 5 minutes have already ticked away, so almost 13 minutes left. That was, I think, Igilai it was Kiolowic who was slow in the tunnel, getting out of the way. We saw the good old Codemasters malfunction. If someone crashes in the last week's, the tire always still sticks on the track. Looks funny, but you can run just through the tire without risking any damage. And Nielsen does another hot lap. So a lot of gasoline he had with him. Let's have a look what else is going on. We see Kiolowic now on his hot lap. Maybe a bit of tag there in Santimot. Then up the hill. And that was contact. A lot of contact. No front wing left anymore on the Ferrari of Lowick. No downforce. Needs to get the runout zone there on the upper Mirabeau section. So he will not deliver us a hot lap time. Let's have a look what the chef is doing. Our cook, Gregory Mortier, wiggling his way into the tunnel there. In Portier, then the Harbour chicane, only turn with something similar to a runout zone. Everywhere else is just barrier after barrier after barrier through the swimming pool, or maybe a bit of tag there with the wall. Through Raskas. One right and the left. The eyes opened, and then his lap time will be 13th best, 7.7 seconds behind Nielsen. So still a lot to do for our cook. And he has lost his Williams front wing there near the casino, but now in the out lap or the in lap it's not as important anymore. Let's have a look what Andrew Mand is doing. He is the single McLaren. Sadly no Peter Simpson with us tonight, as it looks. Having myself a look what's happening. We saw that Simo had technical issues last week with his steering wheel. For today he has ticked as available, but he isn't here. Got to have a look into the background chats. Just not always can't follow those hundreds of messages we have in our group. No, can't find out about it right here, right now. Anyway, let's see. Let's see if there might be a message sooner or later. The still reigning champion, who we will have to find a successor for. He is probably out of the championship race. While we have watched his teammate while his part-time job here in McLaren, and his first hot lap will be a good one, P4 for Andrew Mans. That is actually pretty good. Kiolovic is out now, so no time set for Muff and Kiolovic, while boosted, has received a +5 grid penalty there. So the last one who did not set a time yet, that is then Mark Goodman, and he is slow. He doesn't look like he is setting a time pretty soon. He's having himself a second warm-up lap. Oh no, he has a front wing damage. That it is. There is an end plate missing on the left-hand side. That is the reason why he is slow. 7 minutes remaining, so no panic mode yet, but he'll have to get something going here, otherwise he would be last, and you definitely do not want to be last in Monaco on the starting grid. There is someone running, and this is Iggy Lai in one of the Ferraris, bringing his hot lap to the end right here, and it will be the 8th best. He is improving himself by over a second, but he is still 1.4 seconds behind Jeppe Nielsen, and then there is our lone Scotsman Stuart McDonald had just a moment before finished his second hot lap, giving him P9. 6 minutes left, so still enough time to have another shot. Speaking of another shot, that was Jeppe Nielsen doing and improving himself by around 3/10, distancing everyone with over a second now. Dominic Walsh has sneaked up into second, but still he is a whole second away from his championship rival. And we see Tom Walsh in P5, who is running on mediums. That is interesting. You actually do not have a big necessity to start on mediums. There are tracks where you really have to try to, but Monaco is not one of them. On the other end, you might have some strategy chances if you can wait longer with your stop. Otherwise, it is likely that we will have a lot of safety car phases in the race, so you should potentially have a lot of chances for a quick tire change. So the medium time is 4th best, 1.5 seconds behind Nielsen, but still he has posted a lap time that is better than 13 other drivers. Congratulations, that is really an achievement. Tom Walsh. And here is view at Blake Gary for his maybe already final hot lap. With a bit over 4 minutes remaining, he might not have enough time to start another hot lap. Let's have a look what he's doing here in the harbor section. Blake Gary, I must call it out. While he is improving by half a second, and half a second he is already 3rd. Not enough to attack the pole, but to attack Dom Walsh. This could be the front row for the Alpine, for our youngest driver in the field. It is, and have a look, only 3/10 away of Nielsen. Wow, great result there for Blake Gary, how old is he? I think 16-year-old stud. Blake Gary, who had the incredible amount of 10 pit stops last year. 10 pit stops, and guess what? He acquired a point. He finished in top 10 in the end. Although switching to new tires and a new nose in average every 3.9 laps. Yeah, he is 2nd and he is likely to be finished in 2nd. Who is on a hot lap? Let's have a look if Grimo is. No, he is not. This could be dangerous for Mark Goodman. It looks like he would start somewhere down the midfield. Yep, he is not running anymore. Not sure if he can make it to another hot lap. Mike Taylor, Leonard Cam might already be finished. Gary and Chapman might already be finished as well. Iggy Lai is running still. And I just didn't see it in that moment. Oh yeah, he improved by 4/10 roundabout. Not bad. Well, he is here into the tunnel towards the Nouvelle Chicane. Let's see what the time will bring for him at the end of Sector 2. What will be right here? Improving by a half a second. And that half a second could be advantageous for him. Something like Mike Taylor, maybe even up to Dom Walsh. So maybe attacking the 2nd starting row. No, only P6 in the end. 3.5 improvement. Only P6 maximally, because the drivers behind him can maybe still improve, but he is finished. Dominic Walsh doesn't look good either, but he could have another hot lap if he has enough of gasoline with him. He could run another one. Jeppe Nielsen is running again, but I think it's obvious that he is first and will stay first. So let's have a look if there might be someone else who is potentially able to challenge him. Dominic Walsh just started the hot lap, but that did not look good in the beginning. What is his brother doing? His first time was set on mediums, so there should be a lot of room to improve if he is now running on the soft compound. Jeppe Nielsen pushing the limits under the 110 mark. 109.5. My goodness. Crazy great lap for him. Gary still in second. Dylan Chapman third. And Thomas Walsh. Tom Walsh has retired. Dominic Walsh is out. Maximally in P5 because Andrew Mont has lunged upwards very late in third. And what will Tom Walsh do? Raskas double right. And then he is in P8 right now. That is not good. Big slide at the end of Raskas. And this costed him all his time he found. Only P8 for Tom Walsh. And that is disappointing. That is a bummer for the older Walsh. He'll have to do anything in order not to let his brother and Jeppe Nielsen pull away further from him in the overall standings. And yes, here it is. The quali is officially finished. So this is the starting grid for the race in Monaco. Jeppe Nielsen in the pole. Next to him, Blake Gary in the front row. Great result for him. Third, Andrew Mont. Fourth, then Dylan Chapman. Dom Walsh, fifth. Sixth, Mike Taylor. Seventh, Iggy Lai. P8, Thomas Walsh. P9, Nevis Ikic. 10th, Leonard Cam. Free tire options for Asher Ryder. Then boosted 12, Goodman. 13, Awkward. 14, 15th is Gregory Mortier. And no time set for Muff and Keo Lauvik it was. So our drivers have around about half a minute of time to have some thoughts on the race strategy and some minor tweaks, and I am back with you in a moment. So here we are on our very short installation lap. I've depicted already the tire situation. P11 onwards, everyone has free tire options, and we see everyone except Keo Lauvik is starting on mediums. You can have a one-stop race, medium to soft, soft to medium, soft to hard. All that is possible on one stop. So it is more important to have a clean nose, no bigger collisions with the wall or with other drivers, like we have already seen 5 men doing here on the installation lap. And so now, as we are close towards the start, is maybe / hopefully the right time to thank the Mainstream Racing Series. Thanks guys, thanks all my friends I found here in the virtual F1 broadcast community, because today is a very special day, not because it's Monaco, but because this is my first anniversary of virtual F1 broadcasting, and I started doing this with the Mainstream Racing Series, so this is my anniversary with MRS, and I'm very proud to make it over a year, and I'm very happy to meet you guys, this very, very friendly circle, week in, week out, and have some exciting races together. And it's exciting. This is it. This is the Monaco MIS Grand Prix. Go, go, go in the Principality. Good start for Blake Gary, who's wheel to wheel. Blake Gary was through just shortly. And Gary is through. Gary in the lead. Can you believe it? Blake Gary pulled it in Saint-Denis. And in the background, everything went rather okay. We had a jump start from Mafma. That is not good, of course. But in the background, everything went rather smoothly. Thomas Walsh up by 2. That is really a good thing. And here in the Mirabeau section, everything is very slow. We see yellow, but that is actually just because the drivers are so slow. Through Mirabeau, everything went okay. Let's see if there is someone who needs to stop. I did not see any debris fly off. So let's scoot through the field a little bit. Here we are with Iggy Lai, very close to Mike Taylor. Nevis Ikic in 9th. Ash Ryder, Leonard can drop out of the points. And so there is just very minor position changes after lap 1. That is a sign of quality. We see a pit stop. First one is Mike Taylor and Mark Goodman and Awkward. So 3 drivers needing a pit stop. Muff will do so too, but for him it is a drive-through penalty. Let's have a look at the tires. We see Hearts for Grimaud and Awkward. They might try to go through on those Hearts. Fresh mediums for Mike Taylor. He will not go through. Taylor will hope for a late safety car phase then. Watch out, Awkward. Don't cross the yellow line on the pit exit. That could be costly. So, and here we are into racing action. Blake Gary is leading the way. What a great start he had. We always hear it from our race engineer called Jeff. No heroics into Saint-Denis. But what a heroics this was from our youngest driver. And you can visibly see that Jeppe Nielsen is faster. But there is just no way beyond. This reminds me of Lewis Hamilton versus Daniel Ricciardo some years ago. And Nielsen spun. Nielsen went into the barrier. He was so aggressive. He wanted to push through against Gary somehow, anyhow. But all that he caused was front wing damage. And he lost his front wing entirely. So there is a necessity of an early pit stop from Jeppe Nielsen, and that could cost him a lot of time, if not the whole race. And Andrew Mond is close. Mond, yeah, he's already through. Nielsen going out of the way there, just not trying. Yeah, now he has a corner cut penalty for getting out of the way, I think it was. Not to hold up all the others with his wrecked car. He would, I think, at least that's how I see his actions. He would want to go out of the way, but he can't. He just can't, as the track is so close. And here he is into his pits, and he will go on with a new nose, of course, yeah, and mediums. Okay, medium tires. I thought Nielsen would like to try and go through on hards for the rest of the race. But no, it's mediums. He will have to stop again then. Let's see how much he is potentially able to. Limited damage, and Gregory Mortier is out. Mortier is out. That was in the pool chicanes, but he was... No, Mach is so far behind he cannot even deliver it to us. Sadly, I cannot show you the DNF of Mortier. It was right here. There were... Oh, maybe Muff touched the barrier there too. Yeah, Morty sadly out of the race. And oh no, what happened there? I sadly didn't catch it. Gary is lacking a front wing. Oh no, Blake Gary is lacking a front wing. And Monster too, Andrew Monster. There must have been some sort of coming together between Monster and Gary. What great races both these boys had, and now they are down into the midfields, and Jeppe Nielsen will be close to both those boys again soon. But then it's not the battle for the lead, then it is battle for 10th or so. Nielsen in the pits again. Nielsen in the pits again. Now he opted for hards. Now he'll try to go through, I think. But therefore he needs to stay away from the barriers. No front wing damage allowed. And all of a sudden we have a Mercedes 1-2. Dylan Chapman in front of Dominic Walsh. And in third it is Tom Walsh. Yeah, how crazy it is. Jeppe Nielsen had such a dominant quali performance, and all of a sudden his two biggest championship rivals will score massive points while he is buried down in P14. But the race is still long, not even 1/4 into the books, so still a lot of laps to go, a lot of stuff needs to be done before anyone will see the checkered flag. And it's maybe just one wall away for anyone of these boys, and things will look totally different. So Tom versus Dom, the big brother duel. The Walshes amongst each other. Mercedes and Aston Martin very close team-wise too. Yellow in sector 3, that was behind us in Raskas. Could have been awkward, or maybe Ash Ryder. I think it was some Alfa Romeo. Pit stop for Ikic. So the big wait for something to happen, the big wait for pit stops or mistakes. Ikic in boosted, Mike Taylor in. The Monaco Grand Prix is always the one Grand Prix where we see the most pit stops in the whole season. And this is Boosted, who got himself a fresh set of mediums, potentially a fresh nose as well. And we are in lap 7, so closing up to finish the first quarter of the race. And we did not see a safety car yet. No safety car yet. That is good. That is actually very good. And Jeppe Nielsen is, at least 12th. Now hunting down Awkward in the Alfa Romeo. Both on hards, both will try to go long, and there it is. Nielsen slipped through on the inside as Awkward turned towards his pit group. And there is Gary now in 10th. So Nielsen versus Gary, that was a battle for the lead in lap 1 and 2. Gary, one of the few drivers who are on softs. I think from all those guys who pitted already, Gary was the only one opting for another set of softs. And Boosted is out. Boosted is out. Oh, it's already behind us. Grimo will show it to us. There is a car standing next to the wall. But the track marshal's very quick on getting rid of the wreckage. No safety car needed. Pit stop for Stuart McDonald. Fresh nose, fresh mediums. Let's see where he will be track-wise then. Ooh, that seemed close between him and Jeppe Nielsen. And Nielsen back into the top 10. Blake Gary had himself another pit stop. There he is out of the pit exit in 13th now on hards. He could potentially go through in case he doesn't need a new nose. There's a pit stop for Tom Walsh. That looked rather scheduled. That looked not damage caused. But that is a bit early for me. He opted for hards. If he did not have a front wing necessity to pit for, I am not sure why he did that. Because on hards he will be slower than the others on mediums. So I am not sure what that pit stop was about. And it was very fast, so there was no front wing change. That we will have to have a look on what this was about. Anyway, now it is Chapman leading ahead of Thomas Walsh. Pit stop from Iggy Lai, and Goodman has crashed. There we saw the Alpine in the background, standing in the wall or next to the wall. Here's the pit stop from Iggy Lai. Didn't see if there was a front wing change as well. And here we see Thomas Walsh in the slipstream of Chapman, but as we saw already, there is just no way beyond. Oh, now he might have a chance, because Chapman in the pits, that will be interesting. That will be interesting. Thomas Walsh now with the S for this short little straight. Dylan Chapman on mediums. He'll probably try to finish the race from now onwards on mediums. Let's see. Is he being trafficked? There is Dominic Walsh close again. And Dominic Walsh is through. Dom Walsh ahead of Chapman. But Dom Walsh on the hards. Let's see how that will develop between the two Mercedes. And now the question is, will Thomas Walsh pit? And if, where will he exit the pit lane track-wise? So right now we still see Chapman trailing Dominic Walsh. Let's jump to Tom. There he is. Pool section. And then Raskas. That's the pit entry. Oh, and he goes on. Interesting. Interesting. Thomas Walsh does not pit. Means he makes Chapman's undercut. He prolongs the undercut by at least 1 second. Normally you always try to react quickly as you can to cover the undercut to not more than the one necessary lap. Not more than necessary. But Thomas Walsh decided to go on. I know that... Oh, what's happening there? What's happening there? Chapman is ahead of Dominic Walsh. Oh my goodness. Sadly, I missed that overtake. For some reason, the Mercedes has swapped positions, and I am not sure if that was team strategy or if Chapman just really overtook Dom Walsh somewhere track-wise. The Mercedes of Dominic Walsh does not look damaged, so it was not accident caused. Have a look, Chapman is just so much faster. Chapman, 2 seconds already away. Over 2 seconds from Dominic Walsh. My goodness. Now you can see how much faster the mediums are, and that was exactly what I meant 5 laps ago when I asked myself, why did Dominic Walsh pit for hards so early for hards and not wait a little bit longer and then run on mediums like all the others do. Funny thing, Mark Goodman and Muff have checked into our chat box. Thanks for saying hello in there. You both say that you love Monaco. Yeah. But both of you have DNF'd already. Sadly. So the wait continues. The wait for a Thomas Walsh pit stop. And as I see the figures, as I calculate the figures, I think that Tom Walsh waited too long. I'm not sure, but for some reason I think that if you have a look at the distance to the leader, I think that Thomas Walsh waited too long, and I doubt that the pit stop delta will be beyond. No, sorry, will be smaller than 16 seconds. So that means that Tom Walsh will lose the position to both the Mercedes, maybe even to Iggy Loy. And with every lap of waiting, this effect just gets worse and worse. Yeah, I can see now the distance is at the 16 seconds, now even under the 16 seconds mark to Dom Walsh. So Thomas Walsh is losing time. He is committing a mistake with not fitting in, and he should easily be able to finish the race with his next tire set. So I have no idea. I cannot cannot explain why Thomas Walsh is still waiting, or what he's waiting for. Does not look like as if there would be rain incoming soon. It is not sure if there will be a safety car phase soon or anything. So I cannot think why Tom Walsh is still waiting. Let's have a look at the stops. The amount of stops. stop king with 3 stops. It's only 3 stops for Jeppe Nielsen and Blake Gary. To this time of a race, Gary last time had already something like 4 or 5 stops. So he is improving from 20 to 21. The comparison to starting grid position, Blake Gary, the big loser, had a huge start, and then as soon as it was lap 2, everything went against him. But okay, race isn't over yet. Race isn't over yet. So here's again the gap to the leader Tom Walsh. And last time we talked about it, it was tendering around the 16 seconds mark to Tom Walsh. Now we are at 14.6. And you can visibly see how Igilai is pushing on Tom Walsh. But there is just no way around. And sorry if I repeat myself. Wow! Ooh, that was not a scheduled maneuver. This was braking too late, and that was the wrecked car of Blake Gary. I just spoke about him, that he is improving compared to last year, but now everything is done for him. So sad. Such a good start, such a good quali. And now our youngster is out of the race. Trilla Gorilla is jumpy like hell, and Igila is attacking him even though he didn't know he was. This is dangerous. This is dangerous. Jumpiness is really a bad thing if you're trading another driver, because you just cannot be sure if the car really is there where it is depicted now. And all of a sudden he's running into you just because you didn't expect him to be there where he was. But I think, Thriller Gorilla Ash Rider didn't stop yet. He is still running on his starting medium set, the only driver who started on mediums, while Igilai can go through, and there is the stop from Tom Walsh. This is huge. This is huge, and I predict he will be behind Dominic Walsh in the end. Mediums, he can finish the race, of course, and he is behind Dominic Walsh. He is behind his brother, and have a look how far he is behind. How far is he behind? 4 point something seconds. So now I got all the settings that I wanted. And oh, Mond is out! Oh no, Andrew Mond, that's the yellow. And where is the car? Where is his McLaren? Oh, he retired in the pit lane. Andrew Mond retired in the pit lane. Oh my goodness, he had such a good race, on pace for a whole lot of points. And then Andrew Mond called it a race right here at the midway mark. Oh my. How sad is that? So after a rather strong and high quality race, we are now down to 11 drivers at the midway mark. Means one more crash and every finisher will receive points eventually. No, Andrew Mond just told us he is annoyed by the amounts of tire and front wing changes. Yeah. I can understand. I can understand. This is just Monaco. Driving Formula One in Monaco is like flying helicopter in your living room. And there is Nevis Ikic who is having to turn around. Oh, and now he lost his front wing and will have to do a whole lap without front wing. He spun right on the pit entry. Oh my. Biggest potential, biggest possible bad luck for Nevis Ikic. But he is still running in 11th. I said it. Just one crash away and he'll be back into the pits. And there is the crash! Oh my! Ash Ryder was standing there in Raskas, right? The same position where Ikic was. And someone ran into him. Someone tagged him. Was that Jeppe Nielsen? Nielsen, who is recovering from his early crash with Gary, who is up into 5th already. Or was it? No, can't have been Tom Walsh. Was it Stuart McDonald? Who ran into the wall there on his own, lost his end wing, and Ash Ryder now is really out entirely. Where is he? I have no clue. Ash Ryder is out, while Ikic has now finalized his whole lap without front wing, but the fact that Ash Ryder DNF makes him 10th. So, Monaco is now finally delivering what we expected. Chaos lands, Havoc lands, Havocness pure. That is just what we expected from Monaco. It took us half a race, and here we are now. Leonard Cam now in for a new nose. Yeah, and Nielsen up in 5th. At least 10 points in his hands right now, limiting some damages on Thomas Walsh and Dominic Walsh. And sorry if I repeat myself, but I stick to it. It was a big mistake from Dom Walsh to opt for hards on his pit stop. He dropped 8 seconds to the drivers around him. Just imagine, Chapman in the lead was he overtook him. They were close after each other's pit stop, and now Dom Walsh is 16 seconds away from the driver he was close to just, what was it, 10 laps ago? It looks like Andrew Mont has to vent a bit about his pure annoying week, and yeah, I understand that the Monaco race just fits a annoying week then. And this, have a look, how big is this? P1, P2, P3 in our overall standings, a bit mixed up, a bit shuffled, battling for the final podium slot here in the Principality. Jeppe Nielsen chasing the Walsh Bros for P4 and 3. And ahead is Mike Taylor, who is lapped now, so that's Everything fine. Yeah. And our championship race is being raced out right here now, but let's see how things will go down the wire, because we saw it. You just cannot overtake. Tom Walsh trying it on Tom. Nope, no chance. Just no chance. So, as long as no one commits a mistake, we will have this view very long, maybe even until the end of the race. 14 laps remaining. And everyone will trail Dominic Walsh, who is on the potentially, in theory, slowest tire. So he is holding up the group and keep this group, bunched up. And then behind, have a look, what a huge gap. 48 seconds between Nielsen and McDonald. No, just showing himself in the rearview mirror of Thomas Walsh. No chance. No chance. Down into the tunnel. This is the view of the Aston Martin. Ahead the brother. Behind the Danish man. And then just following him through the walls, tunnels. And this is the view over the front, the rear wing of Dominic Walsh. And I mentioned already, this reminds me so much of Hamilton versus Ricciardo in, when was it? 2017, 2018 or so, when Mercedes committed this big mistake in pitting Ricciardo again, and there was a front wing damage. I think that was from Nielsen. Yes, and wing and plate missing. This will cause Jeppe Nielsen to stop again. But okay, he has 46 seconds of gap to Stuart McDonald, so there is actually not so much lost for Nielsen. But it's a bit annoying, of course, because he managed his way back up to his rivals, and now he will have to let them go again. And there is the pit stop. So he will have... Will he have red tires? No, yellow again. Yellow to yellow. I thought he might try to finish the race on softs. He would have had a chance for the fastest lap then. But nope. Yellow to yellow. And this is the brother duel again in Mirabeau. Portier and into the tunnel. The Walshes always have a PlayStation party running to be able to talk to each other. So they are each other's little help and race engineer, you could say. So they will probably now talk about it, what's happening. This is not possible in real life, driver to driver communication, but here with the brothers duel it is. From one room to the next, one door to the next. And Thomas Walsh, will be angry, I could imagine. Telling his brothers some names or so. But Dominic Walsh will smile because Tom can call him whatever he wants. He has no chance to get wheel to wheel. And Jeppe Nielsen now 22 seconds away. Let's see if he is able to close the gap until the end of the race. And here's the look at Dylan Chapman, our very silent leader. Just trying his best, just be smooth on the pedals, not committing any mistake. As long as he doesn't throw his Mercedes into the wall, things should be fine for him for the remainder of these 10.5 laps. He has it all in his hands. He can just cruise it home. 9 seconds away from this man, Iggy Lai, who is looking to add another podium to his season. He's having himself quite a good season, I want to call it. And there was a position swap. It happened. It did happen. Thomas Walsh slipping through at the casino. And have a look how he can pull away. Just after Pontier and Mirabeau, he is 1.5 seconds away already from his brother. My goodness. And that is it. That is it for the podium. As long as no one commits a mistake, Thomas Walsh will be the one on the podium, but Tom Walsh will lose 3 points on Tom Walsh in the overall standings and win and even gain 2 points on Jeppe Nielsen. So not a lot of situation to change on the overall standings. But at least Dominic Walsh didn't lose anything. As I have it in my mind, as far as I know, I think that Dom Walsh would even increase his lead, because Tom Walsh will overtake Nielsen by 1 point then. So Tom jumps from second to third, but this is all worthless, maybe, all my calculation, because Iggy Lai needs a pit stop, needs a new nose, and he will be behind. Yes, Tom Walsh through, but not Monster, not first. There he is. He is through. Either Jeppe Nielsen is through too. Oh my, how costly was that mistake from Iggy Lai, from second down to fifth. Oh my. So I can recalculate all the stuff what I said, but it is actually not a lot of change. So it's just up or down 2 or 3 points for all those drivers, and the big winner might be Dylan Chapman, because he was behind by I think 42 points, and he will then be down by only 32 points anymore. So Dylan Chapman winning the race, finishing better than anyone else of the contenders, means he gets a little bit closer. Monster is out. Jeppe Nielsen is out. He retired in the pit lane. Jeppe Nielsen retired in the pit lane. My goodness. I have no clue what happened there. Cannot show you, of course. Oh my, I am having myself a look in the background chat if I can find anything out about it. Because that is, of course, really, really huge. Yeah, no message yet. But this is a big loss for Nielsen. He will drop a lot of points. And yeah, nothing decided yet, of course, but this might even make him drop behind Chapman then. So he will lose contact to the Walsh Bros in the overall standings. And have a look, Stuart McDonald is 5th, very silently crawling upwards and upwards, up the hill. And all of a sudden Dominic Walsh is under pressure from Iggy Lai. And I said it already tons of times, it was a mistake for Dom Walsh to opt for these hards. So same situation as Tom Walsh had just a few laps ago. Eli is now trailing and does not find any spot to go wheel to wheel, but in the end Tom Walsh did it. And now Eli very close, outside lane there in Santi. What? Can he pull it through? Acceleration duel, and he managed it. He muscled through against Dominic Walsh. And Dom Walsh on his hards down to 4th only. And now he is indeed losing a bit of points. He is dropping 13 points on his teammate Chapman. He is losing 6 points on his brother. Gaining 12 on Nielsen, okay. But still, this is, yeah. Some race Dominic Walsh would like to have back maybe, and opt differently then. Taylor and Lowick in P8 and 9. Let's have a look at them real quick. Did not have them in the camera lots today. Oh, and Mike Taylor needs a new front wing. Speeding in the pit lane. Okay, those 5 seconds are more or less worthless now. And with 5 laps to go, let's have a look who is our pit stop king. That is Opossum, Keo Lowick, having 8 pit stops. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think that he will crack the record of last year from Blake Gary. He had 10, so he'll not have that many, but 8 is a big amount as well. Mike Taylor will have to let Chapman through here to lap him. There it is. Not a problem, of course, as Taylor has a huge gap, 1.5 minutes on Lowick. So P8 might lap P9 very soon. And there's Dylan Chapman again. We just saw him when he lapped Taylor. He has it all in his hands. 15 seconds to gap. 3.5 laps remaining. 3.5 laps. Smooth sailing in his favor. So it's actually just wait for the decision or for a final and costly mistake. I just want to point out once again, have a look how much time Dominic Walsh left now on Eli. He's already 10.5 seconds behind him. And now we are in the penultimate lap, and guess what? We had a Monaco without a safety car, and that is a really huge and big symbol. Speaks for the MRS quality. Unless there is no duel or anything like that to depict, let's have a look at Dylan Chapman here for his last 1.5 laps, for his last 5 or 6 kilometers. He is in the groove, he is in the rhythm. Just bring it home. Doesn't even have to be really quick. Mike Taylor is already lapped. That might be a bit annoying for the leader to have someone in the proximity arrows very close and maybe even red all the time. So we just hope. Please, 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 boy, don't do anything stupid. Please just let me finish my race. But Mike Taylor is a very experienced driver, so I don't expect Mike Taylor to do anything stupid or anything risky anymore. While we are in the last lap, Mirabeau and Portier for the last time for Dylan Chapman. One last time through the tunnel, one last time through the harbor section. One last time Tabak, and the pool chicane towards Raskas, and now he will be already smiling behind his wheel. Raskas is done. This is it. Checkered flag, race winner, Dylan Chapman. Congratulations to the Mercedes team. What a great result, what a great drive from Dylan Chapman, who is inching closer in making this a 4-man battle for the championship. Second then, with a big gap, Thomas Walsh bringing it home, muscling through against his younger brother. And third, even though he had this potentially costly pit stop late in the race, Igilai in the Ferrari still managing to bring home a podium. And race is official already over. Quality race, driver of the day from the game Awkward. Yeah, it was a good race, quality race. Not a single safety car phase. I did not expect that. While Dylan Chapman is handing out some F1 game copies. And a bit of royal champagne here on the podium. And this is the final result after penalties. Dylan Chapman has won it ahead of the Aston Martin of Thomas Walsh, and third on the podium Iggy Lai. Fourth, 12 valuable points for Dominic Walsh. Fifth, great result for Stuart McDonald. P6 goes to Awkward. Seventh is Nevis Ikic. P8 Mike Taylor, and ninth and last classified is Keo Lauvik. Not finished was Nielsen, Asheroider, Mount, Gary, Goodman, Boosted, Mortier, and Muff Muff. So while the first drivers are already discussing in the background chat, I want to say thank you for being with us here tonight in the Principality. And I will sadly have a break. Sadly, more or less. I will be in vacation for the next two races, means the races in China and Russia. I am sadly not able to deliver to your living room, but after our short trip to Fuerteventura, I will be back with you again here. That will be on Wednesday, December 1st, when we turn to Abu Dhabi on the Yas Marina Island. There I will be back again for the next Mainstream Racing Series action for you into your living room. Until then, have a good time, stay safe, stay healthy, and I am looking forward to see and hear you all again. Until then, stay safe and keep racing.